It's been about a year since I got my hands on the NYXI Wizard, a set of Switch Joy-cons similar to the Gamecube controller. You can see my full thoughts in my video about it, but my takeaway is that it's a great controller, but it doesn't actually feel much like a Gamecube controller. That said, I haven't really used it outside of fighting games that much because the Wizard's Gamecube style button placement can get confusing in most other Switch games. What if I could have all the benefits of the NYXI Wizard, like its Hall Effect joysticks, back buttons, and turbo options, but in a controller that makes more sense for the Switch? Well, NYXI must have heard my prayers because they sent me a Hyperion Pro wireless joypad to check out. They still keep the GameCube motif here in the colors, but they went for a more traditional controller shape. For those of you out there with big hands that struggle with the Switch Joy-cons, I think you found your controller. It's significantly bigger than a Switch Pro controller, and compared to a Joy-Con grip, it's massive. I actually have kind of small hands, so it's a little big for me, but not so big that it's uncomfortable. When holding it, you'll also notice it feels a bit lighter than the Pro controller or the Joy-Cons, which could be a plus for most folks, especially in handheld mode. In handheld, it's definitely an ergonomic improvement of the originals, and it makes the Switch even look like a brand new system. Possibly even a Switch Pro. I think that the purple actually matches my console really well, and it doesn't look quite as outlandish as the Wizard did when it was attached. The LEDs make for a fun addition too, and can be customized by holding the turbo button and tapping the stick once to change the color, or twice to change the pattern. You can customize more than just the LEDs though. There's a button to set the rumble intensity, turbo buttons let you spam a button of your choice, and there's back buttons you can program as well. I am very much a fan of the face buttons on this controller. There's a nice in-between of mushy and clicky, halfway between what you'd see on the Joy-Cons and on the Pro controller. The D-pad on this is one of my favorites of any Switch controller ever, and the shoulder buttons are amazing for playing Fortnite. Festival. They're so good for this rhythm game, I swear. The sticks are NYXI's crowning achievement though. They feel great to use, and they have Hall Effect sensors, which supposedly will never develop drift. Well, I've had NYXI's previous controller, the NYXI Wizard, for a year, and that never drifted, so I don't think the Hyperion Pro will either. Before I wrap this up, here's a few other things that I didn't know where to put in this video. So you can charge these controllers via the Joy-Con rails or via USB-C, which I think is cool. If you want to use these on your PC but don't have a Switch, you now have the option to charge these. The gyro in these isn't half bad either. I had no issue lining up shots in Fortnite with motion controls, so it's a winner in my book. So is the Hyperion Pro right for you? I think that folks with bigger hands that want something more ergonomic than the standard Joy-Con will appreciate it, especially those who love the aesthetic of the GameCube controller. Also, for those tired of replacing busted Joy-Con sticks, NYXI's controllers have a track record of being built to last, and the Hall Effect sticks help keep it future-proof. If any of this applies to you, I'll link NYXI's website in the description, and you can use code IndieAlpaca to save a few bucks while you're at it. Thanks for watching my video, and thank you to NYXI for sending me this controller. What's your favorite Switch controller? Let me know in the comments. Follow me on all those other social medias too, except maybe TikTok since the government might shut that one down. And I'll catch you next time.